You've officially been in line hugging women for the last almost 2 hours, I'd say. How do you feel?
Bye, you are so amazing.
How you doing?
You watching the show on YouTube?
Beautiful.
Be a part of this experience.
I just want to take him home.
Do you see the crowd?
I had to be bad cop. I went and stood in line. I was like, I'm sorry, but anybody after this?
Gotta get a photo with you, please. I'll be so happy. Okay, you guys are the best.
Thank you. There's no going back from that.
You told your truth. You're living your truth. And it's through you that I think you're going to be able to help so many other people live their truth.
Like you told me that it felt powerful. And yet right now I feel so small.
So what are we here to do in Denver?
We are in Denver to speak at The Rise, and I am one of what I understand to be just two men that are going to take the stage to speak to these women, and I feel incredibly honored. It's for Danette May, who is, like, come on, we love Danette.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's the best.
Such a rock star.
Such a rock star, and so to be able to speak and support her for her event is really cool. To be able to kind of drop a pebble in a lake of this divine feminine rising movement and just, I don't know, inject my perspective in some way, shape, or form is really cool. I feel very honored.
What are you going to talk about?
Well, I have an arc. I developed an arc for what I want to talk about, although I'm totally open to completely surrendering all of it and crying on stage.
So today's the big day.
Today's a big day.
What's going on?
I'm noticing that I'm not as chill as I thought I'd be.
Is it excitement or is it anxiety?
I mean, the difference is just the value I assign to it, right? So it feels the same in my system, and if I choose to say, wow, I'm feeling this because I'm worried I'm gonna f it up, then that's anxiety. But when I say, wow, I'm feeling this because I have an opportunity to stand on stage in front of 1,500 people and deliver my medicine, that's excitement.
You're not in California anymore.
No, I won't be for a while. We will not be in California for a while. Yes. They give everyone tissues for crying. It's like, hey, by the way, get ready to feel. So we're about to enter the VIP reception with a bunch of amazing women who have purchased VIP tickets to attend the event, and then we are going to, hi. Oh yeah?
I recognise him.
How do you know this guy?
I saw him on YouTube. He's got lots of motivational speaking, and I went to a conference in Romania, and it was all about creating space for what you want, and they showed a YouTube clip of yourself.
In Romania?
In Romania, yeah!
Wow.
You're all over the world.
I want to introduce someone who's just recent in my life. Then he did his art, and it cut me open in a new way. And I knew I was thinking of you ladies, and I was like, he has to be here. He has to be here.
At the age of 5, I was molested at the hands of a man. I didn't remember this memory until I was 31 years old.
What's going on? What are you feeling?
Earlier today, I shared on stage in front of over 1,000 people about my sexual abuse when I was 5 years old, which I have never spoken about publicly. There might be 15 people on the planet that know about it. And I didn't plan it. I just felt like in the moment I was speaking to all these women as a man, and they had so many men throughout their whole life telling them what to do, how to think, how to be, shaming them, guilting them, pressuring them. And it just felt so important to let them know that I was coming from a place of really understanding it. Like, I get it. I understand what it means not to trust men. I understand what it means to feel victimized by a man. I understand what it means to forgive and the power in that. And I didn't know, coming back here to the hotel room and actually taking a moment to sit, because we immediately got back to the hotel room and dove into work. And then when I took a moment to actually just sit with it, all this emotion. Because there's, I don't know, somehow it's like it became even more real by voicing it to that many people and really taking ownership of it in a very public way. And it's like I opened up a part of myself. And I don't even know what I'm crying about, man. I don't even understand exactly why I'm crying. I just know that there's so much there that I wasn't aware of. And in this moment, I can relate, I can understand so much where people are like, oh, this woman was raped. Why didn't she say anything for 3 years? This woman was sexually assaulted. Why is she just coming out with it now? And the number of people that I've heard say things like that. It's like, well, if it happened, wouldn't she just tell people right away? And like, I feel so many things right now. And this is why it's clear why I haven't chose to share it publicly. Like, I think there was a part of me that probably understood how much was there behind it all. And like, I have so many different emotions coming up right now. Like right now in this moment, I feel shame. And then I judge myself for feeling shame for something like that. I feel guilt. I feel guilt like I took this, like I made it about me somehow. and not wanting to take away from like what I was talking about the whole time up until that last moment. And I feel like it's like a little kid. Like the little kid who was violated and who hasn't felt like they could voice it. There's no light of awareness on it. And I found out about it. It happened when I'm 5. I find out about it when I'm like 30, 31. And it's taken 2, almost 3 years to like speak of it publicly.
Did you think you would do it someday?
Yeah, I knew I would do it someday.
How did you imagine that going?
Probably on a podcast. A podcast or a video, like make a video about it. Like, it just opened this floodgate. It opened this energetic part, and now there's no going back from that. And there's been a flood, even just right after the event, there's been a flood of women coming up to me and telling me their stories. Telling me about their dad. Like, this woman told me this story about her dad or her uncle. There's so many of them. This one was her uncle who came, and she said no. And he said, if you don't let me, I'm going to do it to your sister. Like, that shit's happening, dude. Like, that shit's fucking happening right now. Somewhere on the planet. And so now, like, I'm a permission slip. I've always been a permission slip in various ways, but now I'm a permission slip for this very specific thing, which is so fucking heavy. And I'm feeling so overwhelmed already with just everything that I have on my plate. And now I'm feeling this. I'm feeling the weight of that. And I'm just asking for strength. It doesn't define me. It doesn't define me. And yet it is a part of this human life, this identity. It happened. And speaking about it publicly and claiming it the way that I claimed it is like accepting this part of my identity. And everything that means and everything that goes with it. And I don't even know what that is, but I know we've been on this journey of like claiming the artist as an identity. And look at how much shit that brought up. Like you told me that it felt powerful. And yet right now I feel so small.
Why do you feel small?
It's how that violation causes me to feel. And so the like owning it today is causing me to relive it Like I'm seeing it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling so small. I'm feeling so vulnerable. It's like I thought I was good with it. You know what I mean? Like you knew about it, like other people know about it. I don't hide it. I just never spoke about it publicly. And I'm realizing now that part of me that wasn't ready to speak about it publicly. And yeah, I get it. It's, you know, you have a level of awareness where I can see, I'm like, wow, what an amazing sign of growth. This is what growth looks like. Yeah. And it doesn't make it easier, you know? And like the part of me that wants to go back for the closing ceremony of the thing and like show Danette that we're there and just be like, yes, rock out, celebrate you. And then go to the hotel and celebrate and eat dinner. And I'm so hungry right now. And there's gonna be so many more people who come up. You heard me just playing the guitar and singing that song. I'm like, what did I do? What did I do?
What do you need right now? What would be the most loving?
That's a really good question. I think that's the very thing that we're doing with this show. I have no idea what choosing love looks like in this moment. Is it going back to the convention center and allowing myself to like receive the love of these people who are there and saying like thank you and like see the impact that it's made on them and allow myself to fill up in that way? Is it stay here and just cry? I don't know. There's not a right answer. And that's the whole goal of this show, is to let people know choosing love is not always easy. It's not always obvious. We just do the best that we can. I chose love on stage by feeling into the moment and feeling like these women needed to know that I wasn't ignoring all that they had been through when I told them that forgiveness is such a huge part of what's going to heal this planet. It's very easy for someone to sit there and say, yeah, you forgive. You forgive. I'm good. I'm the man who the patriarchy has worked for. I'm the one who, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm telling you to forgive. I knew that love in that moment was letting them know that I feel them, like I really feel them. Now what's love in this moment?
Yeah, what does your heart want?
My heart wants to not just be in this hotel room. I don't want to just be sitting here crying in a hotel room. That makes for a beautiful movie scene, but it's sad. I want to have a good time. I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate my courage. Like I do. And this is the first part of that. We tell people they get to feel. We tell people that it's okay as a man to cry. It's okay to be witnessed by another man crying. To feel that deeply. Without judgment. There's parts of me that judge myself, yeah. And then I see them Like, okay, can you let that go? Even just talking about it's helpful. Like, I've stopped crying. That's good. I think.
I thought it was really powerful and courageous, and it was something for sure.
Thank you. It was something. This is the aftermath.
Most people don't see this.
Most people don't see this. This is the we have these like movie arcs, these stories, like courage and what it looks like to step into your power and own it. But after those moments, after those on stage moments, after those movie moments, life goes on. This is still that. This is part of that process. This is part of the healing process. And I'm glad we're filming it. I'm glad we're filming it. People get to see this. People get to know that it's okay for everyone who is a victim of sexual abuse, who has survived that, who has been victimized and then stepped away from identifying as the victim. I am not a victim. I stepped on that stage and I said, we create our reality. I created that experience. I'm here letting people know my being molested at the age of 5, I created that. How do I believe that? I believe that because I believe that this is bigger than this one lifetime. This is bigger than what just meets the eye. Do I believe that the 5-year-old me consciously created that? No. But do I believe that my mission on this planet to remind people that they are seen, they are heard, they are loved, that it is safe to feel again, that mission, do I believe that I called in something that traumatic so that I can more deeply relate to how hard it is? Absolutely. I know how hard it is. Right now, I feel how hard it is, and I'm going to choose to show up in love. I'm going to choose to let go of these parts of me that feel guilty and ashamed and small. I'm going to let those go, so I can come back into my power and my sovereignty and recognize that no event that someone else did to me in any way, shape, or form will define me or take away my ability to be loved and to love. To shine so f***ing bright. No one can take that away from me. And if I can do it, you can do it. Anyone can do it. Doesn't matter what it is. The traumas, like the life. I grew up being disciplined with a belt. The woman I lost my virginity to had been cheating on me for months. Like whatever it is that has knocked people on their ass, they can get back up. And they can fucking shine, man. I'm not more special than anyone else. I'm just making choices. I'm making different choices than the people who are choosing not to get back up.
I feel like there's a big part of your wholeness, like your power, that was like brought back in today, right? Like there's this part of you, this part of your identity or this story that hasn't been fully shared with the world at large, and somehow by sharing it and claiming it, it's like more of your power coming online. And it feels like in order for that to actually fully integrate, it needs to be like, it feels like there's emotions and grieving that comes as part of it.
There's a part of me that right now, when I'm crying, there's a part of me that's dying. There's a part of me that was hiding it. Not like hiding it because if I'm feeling shame, then maybe I was hiding it because I was ashamed. Maybe I was hiding it because I felt guilty. All the emotions I'm feeling right now, and because I've claimed it in that way, that part of me is dying. And on its way out, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it leave. And that's a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful process. And we get to just be present with what actually is, what I feel. Yes, I feel shame, I feel guilt, I feel small, I feel embarrassed about all of it. Yeah, those are feelings that I have. Are they the truth of me? No, they're passing clouds in the sky. And when they pass, more of my truth is revealed. And the more of my truth that's revealed, the more of me that I can share with the world. And the more that I can share with the world, the more that the world has permission to share themselves. That's all we're doing, man. We're just giving people permission, and we're giving people permission by being willing to lead by example.
I feel like that's what the whole Me Too movement even was. One person comes out and it's like, well, they can do it, I can do it.
If they can do it, I can do it. So yeah, it's a process. And now we get to leave this hotel room, and we get to do the very thing that I would want someone in my position to do, which is hold my head up high. Hold my head up so high, be willing to be seen, not shy away. Receive. This is one of the hardest things for me. It's one of the hardest things for a lot of people, is to really, really allow myself to receive. And I gave a lot of myself today. We stood in line. There was a line up of women for over 2 hours just coming up and wanting a hug and a photo. And I stood there and I did it and gave. And I recognized that like there was a receiving to that. They were pouring into me. That I was still in the mode of giving. Like I was still wanting to give to them and let them know that they were seen. And now I get to go and hold my head up high and allow myself to receive. So we get to do that.
Here for you.
Thank you.
At the age of 5, I was molested by a man that was very close to my family. I did not remember that memory until I was 31 years old. And when it came back, the first response in my system was to cry tears of gratitude. Because for the first time in my life, I felt like my life made sense. I understood why I had so much fear as I walked through the world, why I didn't feel safe, why I felt like a bad person. That has been something that has consistently been a theme throughout my entire life, which is I have felt like a bad person. I've tried to do everything I can, and when everything around me is reflecting to me, you're doing good, I would still doubt myself. And to know that that came from this moment was such a weight to be lifted off my shoulders. Because awareness gives us choice. And in that moment of awareness of where it stemmed from, I now had a choice. I had a choice. And when I spoke on stage in Denver and I opened that up and I went back to the hotel room, I could start to see, I could start to experience the feelings in my body, the emotions in my body, because I allowed myself to feel. And through allowing myself to feel, I started to notice where in my system I felt it, what it felt like. And now as I navigate the rest of the world, I can see all the different places in my life where that feeling arises. And that gives me the awareness that it's coming from this imprint. And now I have a choice. Do I want to continue to allow that unconscious program to run its course, or do I want to choose something new? And you see that happening in this episode. You see me go from the whirlwind of emotions, and because of my willingness to feel it all, you see me arrive at the space where I say, I'm ready to receive love now. And I'm choosing to share this because I recognize that the majority of people on this planet have experienced some form of sexual abuse and trauma. The majority. In a weird way, it's this thing that connects us. And as I go on my own journey of forgiveness of this man, forgiveness of myself, forgiveness of the collective in this world that we are in where there's still so much pain, I'm committed to sharing it. And it is my hope that by doing so, you will see yourself in me. You will give yourself permission to feel with me. And the thing is, I'm not alone. You saw Ryan sitting there, holding space for me in my process, asking me questions, allowing me to express. It is invaluable. It is so important for you to feel like you have a safe space, that you have tribe and community that can support you. And this show is not just about showing you. This is about creating a movement. This is about creating community. This is about creating safe spaces so that we can shift our internal experience into more love, and therefore we shift the collective experience into more love. Because our external reality is reflecting our internal reality. And so we have been getting your messages. We hear you. How many of you feel like you don't have that support system? You don't have that tribe or that community. And so we are creating it. We are launching a Facebook group where you can go to be heard. Whatever arises from these episodes, whatever arises in your life, there is a growing community that is there for you. And so if you want to be a part of that group, go to theartofchoosinglove.com, put in your email address, and we will send you the private link. And we also recognize that there's so much that wants to be expressed around this specific subject of sexual abuse. And every single one of you deserves to be heard. Your stories are just as worthy of being heard as mine. And while I would love to say that I could sit there and receive all the messages and the emails from you, it's gotten to the point where I just can't. We cannot manage it on our own. But what we will do is create a safe space for you to express and then turn that into art. Transmute it into beauty. And so we've started an email address, iamheard@theartofchoosinglove.com, where you can express your wounding, your trauma, your story, and take ownership of it by getting it out into the world. I've seen how much that's opened up for me in the realm of healing, and so I invite you to do that. For some of you, you may have never voiced it to anyone. This is your opportunity. Send the email. It will live anonymously in the inbox, and at some point in time, in some way, we may find a way to turn that into art. Take that pain and transmute it into beauty that helps heal so many others. That is the art of choosing love. And because so many of you have experienced this, so many people in your life that you may not even be aware of have experienced some form of sexual trauma, sexual abuse, physical violence. I encourage you to share this video. Share this video with anyone you think might benefit from hearing this. Anyone you think might benefit from being a part of a community that can help support each other, so that we grow together. We learn how to navigate this crazy world with love as our compass. We do that together. I am so grateful to have this opportunity to speak to you, to remind you of how beautiful you are. You are not broken. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Thank you so much for being willing to feel so deeply. Always, in all ways, you are seen, you are heard, and you are loved.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for watching the episode. My name's Adam.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Matthew.
This is The Art of Choosing Love.
If you found any value in today's episode for yourself or for your loved ones, go ahead and share the video and make sure this message spreads.
We're going to be releasing new content every week, so subscribe below and follow along.
And if you want to take the conversation even deeper, we've started a Facebook group for this growing tribe and community to support each other in our growth and expansion around topics that are really important to the collective and this planet. So if you want to be a part of that, go to theartofchoosinglove.com, put in your email address, and we will send you a private invite. Thank you. And always, in all ways, you are seen, you are heard.
And you are loved.